So today we're going to talk about Leviatán versus NRG and finding out how Leviatán really destroyed NRG on NRG's map pick here of Lotus, a 13-4 destruction. Let's figure out what went wrong for NA's best team. But before we do that, have you ever had a bad experience playing Valorant? Maybe sometimes your teammates are crypto throwers, or maybe sometimes they call you slurs. Well, imagine if you could play with people who won't do that instead, and instead will communicate with you in a nice and friendly way. Well, with Gosu Academy, you can do just that, because they now offer daily 10-mans. And not only are they offering daily 10-mans, for anyone that joins their Discord, and there is a link in the description and the pinned comment to their Discord, for this week, you can play in the 10-mans for free. So if you want an enjoyable Valorant experience, go and join the Gosu Academy Discord this week and start playing with some friendly people and have some enjoyable experiences. On top of that, for the first 50 people who use the discount code TMV here at checkout, just like I have here, will get the first month of being in the Gosu Academy for free. And so that is access to free coaching. You'll get all the 10-man sessions you want with VOD reviews as well. So if you want to get better at Valorant and find a nice place to play with some other nice people who will come with you and be nice to you, then go and join the Gosu Academy today in the link in the description or in the pinned comment. And thanks to Gosu Academy for sponsoring the video. Okay, so let's actually start here with round number 1, and NRG are on the attack, Leviatán are on the defense, which is an interesting choice straight away that Leviatán decided to go for the defense side first, which was rewarded overall. Couple key notes to make here. One, they're doing this Viper Wall across here. This Viper Wall was important in a couple rounds. This is one of them. But we'll see early on here that actually NRG managed to, as we can see, Leviatán are going to have a big stack here. They're going to break this door here, the Killjoy is. And, it looks like we're going to get a big fight. But NRG actually managed to push them back here early on with a Breach Stone, with a Sky Flash, with a Smoke. There we go. And you see Leviatán get pushed back early on. And they put up this Viper Wall. Now, the little door is broken, as I mentioned just before, and even the pings are kind of coming out that kind of suggest that NRG know that it's broken. The Viper Wall goes down, and there you can see, yeah, the door is broken. So what it looks like here that NRG want to do, you'll see with this smoke in just a second, is it looks like with this smoke that they just put down there, it kind of hints that they want to do this. Right, and they do actually open the door as well, and they send the dog in, and it pushes back Mazzino. So it kind of looks like they want to do an A hit, which is maybe a little weird, because when this door is open, right, it can be a bit tricky to cross across to here, right? Like you're going to need someone to be holding it at all points, especially on like a pistol round where, the guns aren't good enough to like reliably know that you'll be favored in a fight necessarily, right? You can easily whiff with one of these pistols. And you'll see that that kind of ends up hurting them, as does this Viper Wall, you'll see in just a second. But Artist comes through with the dog here, and they manage to push Mazzino back, and Artist is in a pretty good spot. The problem is, as I think, Som is kind of ready to kind of almost turn this corner, this guy peeks around on him, and the rest of his team is behind this Viper Wall. This Taco is actually coming up as well. And so they basically end up getting pinched here. Some behind the Viper Wall, Taco's coming this way, all the focus is on the door, and you see that they just are kind of lost as they all start dying, and Taco even has the awareness to go and kill Artist there as well. And so it wasn't a great start here for NRG, and well, that would continue. And now let's come to round number 5, and I actually like a lot of what NRG do in this round to start off with, okay? They're going to come and take this C control early with a stun there. They're going to flash out with this guy as well, and they push these guys back. You see that we get both King and Taco flash just there. These guys have to retreat, and they come and, push them back off C. And then what you've got as well is you've got Victor here walking up towards B. He's actually going to go and put a nano swarm down to come and break some of the Killjoy. This is a nice idea as well, right? So he pops off his nano swarm just there. That's actually going to destroy this Killjoy nano swarm. It's really good from Shy, because I think he actually recalls his alarm bot before it gets destroyed by it, which is quite a cool idea. But they start to come back towards A, and around this sort of point, they realize that what they want to do is go for a B split, right? So you see that here we've got Victor and FNS, walking back towards B. They put the smoke down here, and they're pretty much ready to come in for this B split. Get a one-way here on the door. But, you know, this is perfectly fine. I even like the little touch here of opening the door, right, making this look like it's an A hit. The flash comes out from Mazino. It does hit Artist, who then misses a nade, but it's not the end of the world. These guys were holding for the push, and they're going towards B anyway, so, you know, it's not the end of the world there. And so, yeah, they get ready to do this push, and in they start to come towards this B site. Now, unfortunately for them, this smoke is going to fade at a bad time, kind of for NRG as they're coming across here. But, you know, in this round, I kind of like what they did, right? They came and took the control on C, and so that pushed Taco back, right? And so he doesn't know what's going on there. You know, they came and you know, tried to break the alarm, but okay, it was a nice play from Shy to recall it and whatnot. But, you know, they came and take this control. They take the early A control. So, you know, Leviatán were pretty pushed back here, and they're going to manage to take the site and get the spike down. It's a nice round overall. We're going to see that same Viper Wall, though, cause them some problems here, NRG, as we get a bit of a weird interaction here as Artist ends up in the smoke, but Shy somehow avoids them. And this was something that NRG were going for quite often, right? This kind of, you know, either double stack or, you know, just someone here. They tried to get someone pushed up into this position quite often when they did these B takes. It didn't bear a ton of rewards. And when I first, you know, we pause it here, my initial reaction was, oh, Leviatán are going to, you know, flash around this corner because Shy knows they're going to double swing, and we're going to get a fight, and that will probably determine who wins this round, right? But actually, no. Leviatán decide to bring the Sky back over towards A to come and flash out here. Now, as we know, Crashies is out here, but the wall is going to cause a problem, and it's going to cause a massive problem for Crashies, as you will see in just a second, because it's Crashies' job to make sure that no one crosses this and comes this way, because you can see that FNS is going to end up just tucked in this corner looking this way, right? So it's Crashies' job to make sure that no one goes there. The problem is this Viper Wall is going to block his line of sight, and because that Viper Wall is going to block his line of sight, he gets a bit antsy, right? Rightfully so, because this is his job. And FNS, I mean, we can see right now, is just staring this way. And so if someone swings it from this door angle and kills him, you know, no one's looking there. FNS is going to tell Crashies, what the hell are you doing? Right? So rightfully so, Crashies starts thinking like, oh, I need to check if anyone's coming through. So he just picks a timing to flash. Actually, funnily enough, Leviatán are doing the exact same thing on the opposite side of the wall. Unfortunately for Crashies, Mazino was already looking towards the door, so he's kind of turned the flash almost by accident, and they get that kill. And from Crashies dying, now the whole thing kind of, you know, starts to fall apart, because now the pressure starts coming in here, so someone has to try and fill for what Crashies was doing, and that means that, you know, people are kind of in bad spots that, you know, otherwise they wouldn't be. And you see that makes them think like, oh, I guess we got to push for something else. So FNS, they try and stun Shy here, but the stun just misses. And so Shy's able to then beat Artist in that fight. And then by that time, you know, FNS is now turning around, but King's already on site with him, right? And so it all starts kind of falling apart, and Taco just decides to start sticking the spike. Okay, not quite sure what Mazino's doing there, but yeah, Taco is just able to kind of stick it through here as Nozwa does manage to get those final couple kills on NRG. And so you see just how, like, fine margins of Crashies and that Viper Wall going up, you know, how that kind of just completely changed the round. And now let's come to round number 8. And in this one, what we're going to see, again, kind of the same thing from NRG in the early part of the round. They come and take this C control. They push them back. Actually, Leviatán here, they come and kind of, you know, reclaim all of A, but they're actually on a bad buy. Right, Leviatán do not have great guns this round, and after causing some pressure towards C, they eventually decide, NRG here, to just come back and do a B hit. Now, I myself am not a great lover of these B hits. I really don't like these straight B hits. I like B splits, right, where you come through the door. I think that that's fine, but I'm not a great fan of just these straight B hits. And they're even going to use a Killjoy lockdown. So they use a Killjoy lockdown against a save. They're actually going to lose this round, though. And I'm not a great fan of these just straight B hits, because you just end up with, you know, not a ton of space. And against, you know, particularly like something like a save where, you know, they have worse guns, you end up kind of, you know, tightly cramped. It's a very cramped site. And actually, they deal with this opposition. Leviatán come and put a lockdown as well. They deal with this lockdown really well, right? You see the flash there, the aftershock comes out, so it completely pushes them out of that room. They even stun, they send in a nade as well, and they destroy it, and we get a nice trade there by Victor as well on Nozwa. So we end up in a 4v4, right? And again, we've got Som in this position here, but you see, and I do think that NRG are going to work quite a bit on these post plants that they had, because they actually 10 of the 14 rounds that Leviatán won were retakes in some kind of way. You know, some more favorable than others. We see you get the Omen ult in there, but again, you've just got kind of, I mean, Otis has got an op here. He's just kind of standing in the middle of the site. You know, again, Som's up here kind of on his own. He could get swung. I mean, you got FNS here. He's on his own, right? There's no one like in range to trade with him either. You see, that's a bit kind of, you know, they just seem to be on slightly different pages. And Taco, you know, comes in, right clicks him, gets a kill just there. And so now we end up in a 3v4, and, you know, Artist only has an op, so he has to pull out the shorty at this range. Again, maybe not ideal, particularly when, you know, 3 people are coming through here. But Taco just updrafts into the air. They kind of just trade him. But Som is there to try and help out, as he's now not feeling any pressure from the other side. But, you know, I mean, we're still in a 2v2 here, and Mazzino's going to just wide swing, hit a nice shot, and then King is going to come and trade on Victor there. So a nice little double swing by Leviatán. It's a good retake by them. But again, for NRG, this is a round where, you know, we're against a save. We use a Killjoy lockdown. We dealt with that Killjoy lockdown very efficiently. You know, they would be hoping to win this round. And by the end of the game, really nothing was going right here for NRG as we come to their defensive side now. They go for this very aggressive push out here, as you can see. You know, they send out the flashes and all of that. They send out the Seekers as well. King is ready for it. Artist is even going to pop his ult here as well. And, I mean, just take a look at this. Shy just obliterates him, and then King even just very casually sidesteps the ult. And whilst that's going on, the other 3 members of Leviatán have rushed towards C, and here Victor, you know, I mean, he's now in a 4v5, but, you know, he's going to end up just kind of wide swinging into a dog and dies just there. And so, yeah, we end up in a pretty rough spot here where and even, I mean, this is a mistake by Mazzino, don't get me wrong. He's in a 5v3, he's just swinging, taking a 1v1. It's actually a very big mistake, and I think we should call them mistakes, even though he wins the round. Definitely a mistake, but he does win the fight, so they end up in this situation. I mean, he's still in a 5v2, just pushing up there. I mean, Crashy's even flashes there and sees King, and Som comes and deals with King. It's actually quite nice from the 2 of them, but Mazzino's reposition now is unexpected, and he manages to get 1, and Som's left in a 1v3. And so, yeah, not a great situation to be in with the spike planted here. Riot, please change this in some way so that, you know, this is not a thing anymore where people are just standing out here, just spamming this. It is quite annoying. I hope you change the map so that I don't have to deal with that anymore, because it's quite boring, quite annoying to deal with, and I just don't think it should really be a part of the game. But yeah, for NRG, it was a rough game. It's definitely a rough second map, and it's clear that, you know, they have some work to do. But for Leviatán, they played pretty well, and it seems like, you know, they are here to play.